Welcome to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Christina Ping. She is CEO of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. And to our viewers at home, if you've been watching us weekly, you know that Christina is passionate about financial wellness. Well, what does that mean exactly? It's making sure that everything that you need for your retirement is running as smoothly as everything in our bodies, making sure that you have peace of mind and that you're healthy, not only physically, but financially as well. Christina, how are you today?
Fantastic to be here with you, my soul sister. This is so much fun always.
It is so much fun. I love being with you too, my soul sister. We just have such a great time, and we talk about things that are so important, but we have fun. That's the most important thing. It's kind of like just two girlfriends talking together, and I think that's the amazing thing about the show. So thank you.
It is, and this is probably my favorite show that we've ever done.
Yes.
Because this is exactly the essence of what we work for.
Yes, and it ties in exactly to the company's name, Powerful Legacy. So we're talking about your estate planning piece today, if you will, because it's so important. You have a passion for that, and making sure that people leave behind what they want to leave behind, to whom, or to organization, charity, whichever it is, but that your estate is in order when you pass away. So Christina, let's dive right in. If you have a proper estate plan in place, you talk about how that reduces stress and anxiety. How so?
Well, first off, we want to know what your wishes are. This is your legacy, your estate. This is your plan. What are your wishes? And if that is not clearly written down in a good, solid plan, there's a chance that your wishes are not going to happen.
And let's talk a little bit more in depth, obviously, your assets, but also your health care wishes. Why are health care wishes important to talk about?
One of the things that I feel like people do not want to talk about are their health care wishes, because sometimes you just don't know what to decide. It is a very personal decision. I do see a lot of clients that once they get into their 70s and 80s, they will request a DNR, do not resuscitate. That's a very normal thing because you've had a great long life and just do not want to risk that lacking quality of life anymore if something was to go wrong and you were resuscitated, because that can decline very seriously.
Most definitely. And so often people forget to have their health care wishes in writing, most specifically in writing, because you can't really use hearsay like, oh, so-and-so told me so. It needs to be in writing, correct?
Having a healthcare surrogate, a living will, and a medical power of attorney are all three completely different legal documents. You may need all of them, or you may just need one that's going to take care of exactly what's going on. I want to break those down a little bit. The medical power of attorney gives someone else, your trustee, if you will, to make the decisions for you. Most people don't like that, because it puts someone in a bad spot. I mean, I will tell you, if I made my children in charge of my health, I know how much I love them and how much they love me. They're not going to want to let me go.
It's true.
And we don't want to be down to those type of decisions and not have something documented.
That's true.
Whereas in that living will, everything can be completely stated and make sure that it's going to take place while you're alive. These are your wishes while you're living. That's what that is.
Talk about the financial power of attorney. Why is that important?
Well, the financial power of attorney gives someone financial power to continue taking care of what your needs are if you're unable to do so for yourself. This can also apply to someone that may have special needs, as in, what if you have developed Alzheimer's or dementia and you just cannot take care of those things anymore? Perhaps someone needs to step in and be able to take care of your finances so you can continue living in your home and having electricity and food and all those important things. These are a very simple document, but they do so many different things.
Yeah, they definitely do. Talk a little bit about, if you don't have these pieces in place, the confusion and the stress that can take place for loved ones, especially when they lose someone, and let's just say lose someone without an estate plan specifically?
Well, I'm going to tell you the worst situation of my career, and there was an estate plan. I have a very precious client. She's been my client for more than a decade, and she was going in just for a regular surgery, and she was supposed to be out of the hospital the next day. They were just keeping her over for observation one night, and she threw a blood clot to her lung and ended up in ICU and on a ventilator. So the next morning, her husband had stayed with her the whole time. And again, she can't speak for herself. The next morning, her husband was killed in an auto accident on Nicholasville Road. She can't speak for herself, and she's laying in ICU on a ventilator, and he's gone. Guess whose business card they found in her belongings? Mine. I ended up telling the children, we did have everything in place, and it was still difficult. So can you imagine if none of these documents were in place and something like that happened? Losing your loved one is hard enough. Please do not make your family members hurt even more because you don't have your plan in place.
Most definitely. Thank you for sharing that story. It gets me every single time because we've talked about this on the phone when we've not been on air, just you and I having a normal conversation. And when you share that with me, it just gives me chills and tears in my eyes. And thank goodness that they found your business card because you were able to give peace of mind in a time of so much turmoil and heartache. So thank you for sharing that.
And I'd also met their children. That's another part. Both the children were out of state. That's why they were not there with their mother during that surgery and visiting her. But I had already known the children.
Yeah.
They had come in when they were in town to come and meet me, so I knew the beneficiary. Their parents wanted them to know me. So when it was that time that it wasn't unfamiliar, and what a blessing that has been.
Yes.
So having those things in order, making sure that everything's going to be okay, not only does it give you that peace of mind while you're living, but it protects you beyond the grave.
Most definitely it does. And are you seeing that a lot of people just choose not to talk about it for a specific reason because no one wants to think about the time when they're not on the planet any longer? Is that why the can is kind of kicked down the road?
Well, I mean, anytime that I've tried to talk about things with my kids, it's usually, Mom, don't talk about that. That's not fun to talk about, or we don't want to think about you not being here. Well, I know. But this is what we do. We preserve wealth and we protect estates for a living. So we need to have our own in order. Boys, this is what I want. This is what I want you to do. And then they remind me later on, hey, I pick your nursing home. Don't you forget that.
Yeah, there you go.
Are you making good cheesy macaroni for dinner? What is that going to be?
I love it. And what about the importance of financial transfer, if you will, having a trust? There's always a lot of questions. Do I need a will? Do I need a trust? Can you explain the difference before we take our first commercial break?
Absolutely. Folks, a will and a trust are both legal documents. The first thing I want to help you understand is that a will go to probate. It is just simply a document that states in your death, beyond your life, where you would like your estate to be or what your wishes are. And that's all that is. But it has to go to probate, which makes it public. If you have a trust, you can bypass probate because you can put items into a trust that are not able to be named as beneficiary, like a home or farms or some other items. We would talk about that. And it completely avoids probate. When it's done correctly, then it's private and it doesn't upset your beneficiaries. And it's done very quickly and it just takes away all of the worry.
Most definitely. And I think that's something that's so important to talk about because, again, when you're losing a loved one and you're faced with all of this emotion, the last thing that you want to have is financial confusion and not knowing where everything is and how everything's documented. It's peace of mind knowing that everything is in place.
It is peace of mind. And as a professional that's been in this for many, many years, there is no greater time that an argument arises than over money with the death of a loved one. I'm not trying to be rude, but that's just the way that it is.
Yeah.
People come out of the closet, and I mean, people get really ugly over money. It's ridiculous.
Oh, it is.
And I think that part of that is just because underlying hurt is there and grief because you miss your loved one. I think that's just part of it.
Yeah.
But as great as people say, oh, I get along with my siblings, everything will be okay, we don't have to worry about it, that's not necessarily true.
That's true. That's true. Well, Christina, unfortunately, we have to take our very first commercial break. I never like breaking up the time when we're talking together, but we have to. But you have set aside a specific number of spots for new people that want to come in and meet with you one-on-one for the very first time. Talk a little bit about what that looks like, and do they get a copy of your book? I have to ask.
Yes. Please come in. Get a copy of the book, The Retirement Train. We would love to give this to you. It's complimentary. You don't even have to set an appointment. Come in and grab one. But if you do need to see us, let's sit down and talk about your estate, your legacy. We're also going to talk about taxes in your estate. This is a really big deal. If we can save you a lot in taxes for your heirs in the future, we want to make sure that we're discussing that as well. Do you understand the difference between a will and a trust? Which one is best for you? Maybe both. Let's sit down and have that conversation today. We do have a really awesome workbook, but we also have a quiz, powerfullegacyquiz.com. The Powerful Legacy Quiz. Jump on there, take that quiz, click on that QR code there. That's going to jog a couple of these things that you're looking to answer, but you're not quite sure if you need to talk about it or not. This is going to let you know, hey, we're going to get information in advance to make sure that the legacy is taken care of. We'd love to give you a complimentary consultation. Just give us a call, 877-893-5099. We're going to talk about your finances. We're going to talk about your taxes. We're going to talk about your legacy and your estate. If you think you can just come in and talk about one thing, you're wrong, because they all go together. So let's not procrastinate on this. That's the number one reason people don't have an estate: procrastination. Let's hit this. Let's go over your estate and your legacy today. 877-893-5099.
Christina, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, once again, 877-893-5099. As you can see from today's show, having a properly designed estate plan will not only give you peace of mind, but also your loved ones. Don't miss the opportunity to book that meeting today with Christina. It's completely complimentary, no obligation, 877-893-5099, or please click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, I'm going to talk to Christina about how having an estate plan really overall strengthens your whole financial picture. Stay tuned.
There's a conversation most families never have, not because they don't care, but because it's hard to start. It's about legacy, not just the legal forms, but the real things: your voice, your wishes, your values, your guidance. That's why I've created something that makes the conversation easier. A free estate planning checklist. It's quick, it's comprehensive, and clear. And most importantly, it's written with family in mind, not lawyers. When you're just getting started reviewing your plan, this checklist can help. If you'd like a copy, just reply to this message or click the link. It's a simple tool with a very big purpose: to make sure your family has clarity, not confusion, when they need it most.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Christina Ping. She is CEO of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. And if you're just tuning in, we hope you have a cup of coffee. We have been talking about financial wellness, and most specifically in today's show, how having a well-designed legacy plan, an estate plan, gives peace of mind not only to you, but also to your loved ones when you pass away. Christina, I know that you love talking about this. You're so passionate about protecting a person's legacy so that their wishes can be carried out. But in this segment, I want to talk to you about how having an estate plan really strengthens your overall financial plan. What pieces and parts are we speaking of specifically?
Well, having a good, strong plan means that you're going to be able to weather the storms of what could come. Most of them are going to be legal situations. If you have worked your whole life to earn your home, your retirement accounts, any other assets, and those came under attack from someone who didn't earn them, I promise you, having those documents in order is going to make you feel so much better and stronger. The documents are different for every single person. And remember that planners are not lawyers and lawyers are not planners. So this is something where when we sit down and we have the conversation, you need to clearly understand we're not lawyers, thank heaven.
Yes, yes.
But I do have some great lawyers that we can partner with and send you to. There is a major scandal going on in the Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, Indiana area right now. There are so many people, they're saying close to 5,000 victims that have lost estates. This is very serious. It is now public. I'm not going to mention any names or what's going on there, but it is public. And in our firm, we have had people that have called in, come and visited us for legacy and estate planning workshops, and they're telling me, this person prepared this, and I'm scared. And we have found a couple of messes. Having checks and balances never hurts in any part of your life, right? A second opinion on whether it's your financial plan, your estate plan, whatever the plan is, your taxes, everything. You want to be able to have someone take a look at that. If something is wrong, someone should be able to tell you exactly what that is. If something's right, they'll tell you, this is all in good order. Let's let it sit tight. Everything's fine. That's what you should expect from a true fiduciary.
Most definitely. And I think what scares the viewing audience right now more than ever is, in the case that you're speaking of, people trusted that person. They put their faith in that person. So tell people at home a little bit about why people will have a difference working with you. Because, I mean, I could speak for hours about your character. That would take me like the rest of the show and then some, probably 75 shows. But I want people to really get to know why it's important as they're watching today that you are the right person to call. So talk a little bit about that, please.
My character is not very nice right now. I can literally feel myself grinding my teeth. I'm so angry at the suffering that I have seen these people having to get help over these estates, because some of these were multi-generational family farms and they are gone. They were stolen.
Yes.
This is a big deal. And if you're worried about your estate, has something happened? Did this specific group that was involved prepare your documents for you? We would love to just give you a second opinion. If things are okay, we're going to let you know. But if there are some adjustments that need to be made and there is a red light, we're going to tell you immediately, and we have people that we can connect you with that are going to fix it immediately. Furthermore, if something needs to be fixed, and once you have had it taken care of, we would love to invite someone back for a second appointment to go back over it and make sure that everything's okay. That's huge.
So important. Absolutely. Yes. And again, carrying out your wishes the way you intend, that's something that's so important, because what if there's a specific charity that someone's really passionate about and maybe their family doesn't agree? Maybe they think that decision shouldn't be the one that was made. How is it important to have it in writing so that you can make sure that your wishes are carried out the way that you intend, not your beneficiaries intend?
Well, this is a simple one. A lot of family members don't agree with charity because they feel like they should get the money, not the charity.
Exactly.
It's really pitiful. But also, again, that's people who did not earn the money. They come in, they try to attack that and take things away. Having this in writing prevents a lot of arguments, and it's just very concise. Why is it this way? It's not dramatic. It's not like what you see on TV that you're going to have to go into a lawyer's office and they're going to open this video like on a Hallmark film or something like that.
Right.
That's not at all what this is. It's simply getting the documents in order. Here they are. Have an electronic copy with your fiduciary, with the person who takes care of your overall financial plan. Because most of the time, that's the first place to start. They know where everything is, and it should be there.
Yes.
And having those documents in order and being able to avoid probate, keeping things private versus public and messy, sometimes it's a double-edged sword. Like I had mentioned, this terrible attack that's going on in our area right now,
Yes.
and people that are suffering, families that are suffering, versus having the documents in order, and we know everything's okay. It is such a great joy when you can say, okay, I know if the worst comes, everything is taken care of. My wishes will be fulfilled. Most people do not want to go into a long-term care facility. So I'm seeing that actually written in that living will that they want to stay home. They want to deny nourishment if something was to take place and they were going to be stuck in a facility. People don't want to be away from their homes and their families.
Right.
That's a very natural feeling. I know I don't.
Exactly. I agree.
I would never walk into a facility and say, you know, it's like being in a hospital all the time. Nobody wants to be there, even when there are joyous occasions like a grandbaby being born.
Right, right.
You know, yay, that's great. We want to go there, but you really don't want to be in a hospital. That's no fun.
No, not for long. Absolutely. And having an estate plan obviously helps you provide for emergencies. And you touched on that in your last statement, but it's so important to talk about when you can't make financial or medical decisions. That's really an important one before we take the break.
So the financial power of attorney, healthcare directives, all these legal documents, again, what are they trying to do? What are they trying to prevent? What are they trying to protect? I want to encourage you folks to think about these legal documents like a shield. They're going to protect you from outside elements that could come in and attack your estate and your wishes. When these are done properly, they will shield you, they will protect you. And it's the best feeling in the world, that peace of mind to be able to have it ready and good to go if something happens.
Most definitely. Christina, we have to take another commercial break, but please tell the audience what they can expect when they pick up the phone and call in and book that consultation with you today.
Yes. Folks, perhaps you haven't taken a look at your estate plan for a while. Maybe it's outdated. Maybe your kids were still minors the last time that you had this updated. If life has changed, or if you're worried about what's going on right now with this legal situation, please feel free to give us a call. We would love to offer you the blessing of information. Let's sit down and have a review. Let's talk about your legacy, your estate, your finances, your taxes. What if we could save your family possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes on your own primary home by just transferring it properly? Don't do it while they're alive, while you're alive. Please don't do that. That can cause a mess. And I'll talk to you about why that would happen.
Okay. Christina, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, that number to call is 877-893-5099. 877-893-5099. As you can see from today's show, having an estate plan is a very important component when it comes to your overall financial plan, to your financial wellness. Well, how do you get started on that path? Pick up the phone and call in to 877-893-5099, or even simpler, click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. We're going to take a very short commercial break here on Your Powerful Legacy TV. Don't go anywhere. I have so much more with Christina about building a solid estate, a legacy plan, when we return.
I've got some big news. The Lexington firm has outgrown Powerful Legacy Suite 100 in the 3260. Don't worry, we're moving right next door to 3250 Blazer Parkway, Suite 100. It's a fantastic, beautiful new office. We can't wait to share this with you. A customer service experience like you've never seen before. Come in and see us. Watch your inbox for your invite to our open house.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Christina Ping. She is CEO of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. And we are talking about the importance today of having a proper estate plan, a proper legacy plan to make sure that your wishes are carried out when you're no longer with us. Christina, I think that this show is so incredibly important, and you are so passionate about talking about it. Let's talk about how having a properly designed estate plan actually supports family wellness. What do you mean by that? Because we are in the financial wellness series right now.
When we're talking about overall family wellness, what we're trying to talk about is to prevent that emotional strain and financial strain of the estate being probated or being exercised. I want to give you a little bit of legal language here. Inheritance is what happens after you die. Before the commercial break, I did tell you that it's not a good idea to transfer a deed to your children while you're still living. And let me give you a really good example. In the state of Kentucky, inherited property is not marital property. Inherited property is after you've died. So if you transfer and put your child on that deed or give the house to your child while you're still living and they go through a divorce, their spouse can take part of that property that you've worked your whole life for.
Wow.
So be really careful about that. And when we're talking about transferring properties, transferring on death is not available in the state of Kentucky. But in Florida, where a lot of our clients like to go, you know, our snowbirds here.
Yes.
There's a deed called a ladybird deed. So that does actually transfer the property on death. So the moment that the person passes away, the ladybird deed is issued and it transfers it over to the loved ones without going to probate. Every state is different. Make sure you understand those rules and regulations because this could devastate your estate.
Most definitely. And when you talk about it just like that, eliminating the emotional strain, that's the biggest one to really talk about with wellness overall, because it can be very stressful for people. Like I said earlier, when you lose someone and there's no plan in place, it gives someone a clear roadmap. Wouldn't you agree?
It does. And the number one thing that I'm seeing where this can get really tricky is with that second chance love. So let's say that you married later on in life and that you do not have children together, but you have children from a previous marriage. And let's say that one spouse has a significant estate, and while they do want to take care of their spouse after their death, they want to leave the majority of the estate to their children and their grandchildren. That's very natural. I would say that we could all agree on that one.
Absolutely.
Well, what if that estate comes under attack? because the spouse changes their mind and they want to take this away and then give it to their kids and just completely bypass yours, even though you're the one who earned it. These documents being in place and being done properly can absolutely prevent those things from happening. I do want to talk about quickly the different types of trusts. A revocable living trust is ever so simply just meant to avoid probate. An irrevocable trust is meant to protect the assets from risk or elements like long-term care, like coming from other spouses, from creditors, whatever it may be. And it is permanent. You cannot go in there and make those changes ever so easily, whereas the revocable living, you can. Actually, you could just completely revoke the trust if you wanted to. So having flexibility while you're alive versus no flexibility, those are the type of conversations that we would have to make sure what is truly best for you. On a very personal basis, I have multiple. For my children, they each have irrevocable trusts. Property is in there for a very specific reason for the rest of their lives, for them to have a home that we know no one is going to come after it. We're protecting those assets from creditors, from spouses, from whatever it may be, those elements in life, because let's just face it, 50% of marriages end in divorce.
It's true.
So we would want to protect that property. Now, the revocable living does not protect you from divorce at all, which is very unfortunate. I mean, it's just the most absolutely terrible situation if you have to go through this. But it does completely avoid probate. So upon your death, your wishes will take place, and then that would become an irrevocable trust after your death.
Okay. And all of these things go into a very holistic, well-designed retirement plan. And yet, Christina, a lot of people are not talking about the need for estate plan and legacy plan. In your opinion, we have a minute and a half left. Why is that? Why do a lot of advisors just skip over that piece altogether?
Most advisors actually don't do it.
Okay.
That's not part of their practice. That's not part of their specialty. And you need to ask, are you seeing the right advisor for the right time of your life? Just like we see a physician that would be a pediatrician when you're a child, general family practice when you're in the middle of your life, most of your life, and then you would have a geriatric professional later on. You have different advisors for different stages of your life. Make sure you're with the right advisor for the right reasons at the right stage of your life. We're the advisors for the rest of your life. We do take care of other generations. We love our clients when they bring in their kids and grandkids and great-grands. We love all of that too. But please understand, not everyone does the same thing. Also, advisors don't always do tax planning. Taxes inside of the estate are very important. We want to make sure that you're not going to overpay on those.
Most definitely. Christina, we only have about 40 seconds left of the show again this week, but one final word of wisdom to them before we go.
Folks, if you do not have your estate in order, I know that you don't have peace of mind. Please feel free to give us a call. That number on the screen, 877-893-5099. Come in, sit down, and talk to us about your estate.
Christina, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, thank you for spending time with us today on Your Powerful Legacy TV. That number to call, 877-893-5099, or click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you back next week. Thank you for spending time with us again today.